Good afternoon, everyone. We will call the Rules and Appointments Committee to order for Tuesday, March the 3rd, 2023, 2026. Good grief, we going back 3 years. Let's don't do it. Definitely not that year anyway. Ms. Carrillo, please call the roll.
Teratio,
Here.
Weaver,
Here.
Cooper.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Next, we'll have the approval of the minutes from February the 10th, 2026. You can find those items on pages 6 through 8. If there aren't any revisions, I'll entertain a motion.
Approve, Madam Chair.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Ms. Carrillo.
Teratio,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Cooper.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Next is our adoption of the agenda. Ms. Carrillo, do we have any changes to our agenda?
Not at this time.
Thank you. So if that, I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved, Madam Chair.
Second.
Any discussion? Ms. Carrillo?
Teratio,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Cooper.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Our next item we are going to take up is the notification of vacancies for the Riverbanks Zoo Commission. There is one vacancy. We will, I'm going to give a high-level explanation for this, and then we have Tommy Stringfellow from the zoo who can give us a slight deeper dive into whatever I do not cover. It is, we presently appoint for the Riverbanks Zoo, or Riverbank Park, as it is stated. And this appointment is a little bit different from how the other ones are laid out. The other ones are laid out to be aligned with all of our other appointments where we do appoint for up to 2 4-year terms, and then the individual would have to sit off for a year. This one is a little bit different because it's a shared position, and it's more of an at-large position, as it is stated on our agenda. This is a rotating, on a rotating basis for 6 years. It is different because it is a shared position at large between Richland County, the City of Columbia, and Lexington. So this gives us a presence that represents Richland County for a 6-year period. There is no recommitting or allowing them to reapply. They have the 6 years, and then it rotates to either the City of Columbia or Lexington. And so what I'd like to do, Ms. Carrillo and members of the committee, is to also just kind of have a conversation about the vacancy as well as the amendment, which would be the next item on our agenda, so that we'll have just one big, healthy conversation there. So it has been brought to our attention, however, this at-large or joint position, there's some language that's missing from our descriptions as well as from the zoo's description. So it's our goal here today to not only place an advertisement for notification of the vacancy, but also to clean up some of the language that we presently have. So with that, I'm going to call Mr. Stringfellow down and to further expound on this item before we take any action that's needed for items 4 and 5.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yes, a bit confusing, no doubt. I'll try to back it up and make it succinct. So when the Riverbanks Park District was created by the General Assembly, they were really specific in making it a special purpose district to be governed by 2 appointed members from Richland County, 2 from Lexington, and 2 from the City of Columbia. At that time, West Columbia didn't exist, so they left them out of the equation. So that's the 6 commissioners that I report to that govern the zoo. The 7th that was a bit vague if you read the enabling legislation, you can interpret it a bunch of different ways, but the way it seems to be interpreted is that all three municipalities have to jointly elect a seventh commissioner. Maybe back in the day, they had it figured out how they were going to do that, how not only this council and city and Lexington could take applications and then somehow go through all the applications and jointly decide that seventh person. It was specific that it was for only 1 6-year term, and then it would rotate. And it didn't say specifically how the rotation would go, but it was interpreted that when they listed it in the enabling legislation, when they listed the joint, it was Richland to the city to Lexington, then back to Richland, the city and Lexington. So when we went back and looked at, at the documentation, the best we could see is there was still a lot of confusion back then, trying to get that one elected from those three joint wasn't happening easy. So the commission felt like to take it upon themselves to decide in a meeting, and there are minutes to reflect it, that in order to move this forward and make it easy to understand, the commission voted to have a rotation schedule listed where it would go from the same as enabling legislation, Richland to the city to Lexington, and that each of the councils' turn would then appoint that commissioner for a 6-year period. So we spelled it out pretty good in the minutes, but it was never adopted on our bylaws. We can obviously change the bylaws, but not the enabling legislation. I don't think anybody wanted to go back and try to get the General Assembly to rewrite that, but we may try to figure out how we can make that and not have to worry about this confusion. So anyway, the way it stands now is Lexington County is wrapping up their 6-year term. It expires at the end of May. Typically, from what I could tell, it was up to us to notify the upcoming council. Oh, by the way, you have a third commissioner to be appointed. It's your turn. It's Richland's turn, and that's the conversation I had about a week ago. By the way, guess what? It's your turn. This one's rotating to you, and that's where the confusion is, because that was 12 years ago, and it won't be of another 12 years for this opportunity, and until we get this written out, succinctly, then that's where it kind of all comes down to. So in the past, everybody has kind of played along with it, but I think the need to have that documentation maybe permanently changed or adopted in our bylaws, which we have a meeting coming up in 2 weeks. We're going to make a point to clarify that and put it at least in our bylaws that we then can share with the three municipalities what that 6-year term is, when it expires, so that way and it's in your records, down the road that there will be another appointment from this commission in 12 years again for that rotation period. So that's the probably best description I have for you there. And yes, it is a bit confusing the way it was laid out to begin with. So.
Thank you, Mr. Stringfellow. Any questions from the committee? Recognize.
I just want to acknowledge that this is very interesting. I think this is the first time that I've encountered this in my years on council and interacting with Mr. Stringfellow. And so I totally agree that we need to address this matter. I think everybody, as you said, has been playing along well, but we do definitely need to sort it out. So do we have suggested language or?
So, and I will yield to our deputy county attorney to this, but we've had conversation about this, and just before she speaks, I do want to say that this is very similar to what we did probably 5 years ago, and part of when Mr. Malinowski was on committee, he and I sat down and we had a lot of inconsistency in our descriptions, in our terms, and we really wanted to clean everything up to make it be more uniformed. And so with that, the first thing that I said when this came up, I said, ooh, this don't match this does not match the playbook. And so it is, although this is very unique because of how the terms are spelled out, I think some of the pushback comes now because we have done such a great job in cleaning things up. Because before, when I first came on this committee, most things were like this. So now it's kind of like we got a couple that just kind of were out there. This is probably one or two of the last Mohicans that we need to bring in and clean up. And so I think there is some suggested language based upon the minutes of the I want to keep saying the zoo, but I can't call it the zoo. It's the park. The Park Commission has brought forth, and then, of course, once what our goal here is, Ms. Teresa, is to make it so that we can make the announcement with as much information as we can, and making sure that when individuals apply, they will go to our website and see the information that we've adopted. And then once the park makes their amendments to their bylaws, then we'll take that and insert it into our information as well. But the end goal for today is to clean it up as much as we can to make it make sense, so that when individuals apply for this position, they don't just think that, oh, I get 2 4-year terms and then I have to sit off, because we have to be very specific in that. So that's where we're going with that. That was a lot. So we'll yield and hear from the county attorney's office.
Madam Chair, I'll also just say it may scare some people off to think that they may be obligated for such a long time.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Absolutely.
I apologize, just one moment. All right, I apologize. I'm just coming in on this, Mrs. Cooper. So if I'm correct in my understanding, you're wanting proposed language, and Ms. Teresa, this might be actually toward you. You're wanting proposed language for the commission to add in its bylaws?
I would say we can't really dictate what they put in their bylaws. I
Right.
think we can sorry, Madam Chair, may I respond?
Sure.
Okay, sorry. We can only really control what we can control, which is our ordinance, right? And so that would be, I think, where we were looking for. I mean, and then if Riverbanks wants to, if the Park Commission wants to adopt that, then to make things align all the way around, maybe that could be agreeable.
Yes. So I'll step in here because
Okay.
I see your ketchup on your face. And so what we're proposing is we have before us the actual description that it's on page 5, right? So on page 5, where it talks about the appointments, what we need to do is, what we need to do today is to include the 6-year terms. So if you see there on page 5, it's highlighted there. It says 1 member shall be appointed for an initial term of 1 year by Lexington County Council, the Richland County Council, and the Mayor and City Council of Columbia. Thereafter, all appointments shall be for the terms of 6 years and until their successors are appointed and qualified. So in essence, that is the language that we need to adopt into our description, correct? No.
So, Madam Chair, may I be recognized?
Yes.
Okay. So the language that you have in front of you is the language that was adopted by state statute. That is the language that we are being governed by right now. The Richland County Council has approved a description for every board and commission that we currently have. On the descriptions that we currently have does not reflect the seventh member that Mr. Stringfellow was mentioning, but it is stated in the state statute that it will be a rotating member. On our descriptions, it's called as the joint member, and it is described here. However, the discrepancy is that our terms allows a member to serve for 2 consecutive terms and then sit out for 1 term. However, by the by the minutes that were adopted by Richland County Council back in 2004 and 7, they agreed to come to this agreement now to have Richland County, Lexington, and the City of Columbia rotate the position on a rotating basis every 6 years. So what we need to do now is to be able to amend our description to state that in accordance with the South Carolina Code, Section 51-13-20, and by mutual agreement, Lexington and Richland County Councils and the City of Columbia agree to appoint the 7th at-large commission member on a rotating basis for 1 6-year term, and it is not eligible for reappointment in the at-large position. So we just have to clarify that this position is not eligible for reappointment as the other 2 positions. So technically, every 6 years, we will have 3 positions that the council will be able to appoint. The other 2 will be eligible to serve for 2 terms, and the 7th member will be able to serve for 1 term as an at-large, or what is called by state statute is the joint member.
So to that, Ms. Carrillo she kind of gave us an overview of step 1, step 2, step 3 of where we are. And so it would be the recommendation, I believe, and Mr. Stringfellow, I think we good. So if you want to, if you want to have a seat, I don't want you to stand the whole meeting while we discuss.
Madam Chair, the one thing that, what language we come up here with, I feel sure, of course, we'll present it to Lexington and the city since it's all jointly. I think they would appreciate some more details as to how this works. It's every year we kind of explain the same thing. So I think they would be agreeable to what language you're saying would work well for them as well too. So
We definitely enjoy being the trailblazers. We'll take to be the trailblazers. So what we have here, though, is that what we need to do is we're taking the language from page 5 that I read earlier and expanding what we presently have. I do think to eliminate further confusion, to separate where we list the Riverbanks Park Commission, I think that we need to adopt some type of, I don't know if we call it just Riverbanks Parks, Park Commission, and then underneath that, have an at-large description to separate the 2 and not to have one big long description. I think that is going to be important. Ms. Carrillo has read to us the language that came out of the meeting that you had the other day with the county attorney. I apologize for everybody. So with that, I think that we take that language, that's what we need to adopt to be a part of our notification, which would cover items 4 and 5. However, when we cover items 5, we need to make sure that we are appointing for the joint at-large member. Okay, so we have 2 things. We have 2 things that we have to do, and the one of which is that items 4 is a notification of the vacancies, which Ms. Carrillo read. So we need to adopt that, is that correct? And vote on that.
That will be the advertisement that will be sent out.
That will be the advertisement, and would that also then be the language that would be updated onto our website?
The language that will be updated will be item number 5A.
Got it. Okay, so we have the notification and the description, two separate items. I'm good, I'm back. Okay, so Mr. Weaver and then Mr. Racio.
Madam Chair, was that a motion that needs to be seconded? I'm ready to second it if you'd like not have to repeat all that.
It definitely was not motion language, sir.
Okay,
It was a good fumble.
okay, all right. Well,
So let's take item 4 with the notification of vacancy and with vacancies. And what we are doing now is what we typically do, where we are making a motion for what we see before us now, and that is the Richland County Joint at-large position to be advertised. Do we have a date for that, Ms. Carrillo? I think that would be helpful to include that. So that's what we're doing.
That advertisement will be presented tonight to council, and then it will go out on Friday.
Okay. So that's what we have before us.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Okay. So yes, this is a timely matter, so we need to take care of this today, get the advertisement out, and then we'll be interviewing for this. Advertisement closes at what time, or how many weeks will it be out?
Typically, it goes for 4 weeks.
Okay.
So it will not close until the end of April.
Right, and then we'll have to appoint in May.
Correct.
Yes, okay.
Set the interviews in May.
Interviews in May, yes.
It definitely will get the priority.
Got it. Thank you. And I just wanted to say, I certainly didn't expect to put anybody, I certainly didn't mean to put anybody on the spot, so I apologize. I just didn't know if there was anything already prepared or if we needed to come up with something. So I just wanted to state that. And I think just from a personal point of view, I think this is a good solution to that 12-year problem where we can sort of kind of forget about it until it comes back around to us again. So thank you. Madam Chair, I'm ready to make a motion to approve the notification of vacancy for 4A,
Second.
or as listed in 4A.
Second. Any discussion on this item? Ms. Carrillo, the details are there? You're good?
Yeah, 4A is good. Yeah.
Okay. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Ms. Carrillo?
Teratio,
Yes?
Weaver,
yes,
Cooper.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Thank you. So we'll further the discussion with the amendment of listing the boards and commissions. That is going to be the language that Ms. Carrillo read earlier. I do believe it's also listed there in our packet, and I'll make the motion. I'll make the
Chair?
motion if that would be helpful.
Are you ready? Okay.
Yeah, so I move to, in accordance with the South Carolina Code Section 51-13-20, and by mutual agreement, Lexington and Richland County Councils and the City of Columbia agree to appoint the 7th at-large commission member on a rotating basis for 1 6-year term, and it is not eligible for reappointment in an at-large position.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Ms. Carrillo?
Teratio,
Yes.
Weaver,
yes.
Cooper.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Thank you. So this will take care and give us a quick fix for making the appointment for the Riverbanks Parks Commission. We will continue to work with the commission as they tweak some things in their bylaws. Once they do, I know Mr. Stringfellow will be back with our clerk's office and our attorney's office. And then if anything else is further needed from us, then we may have to come back and revisit this item so that I think it's important that our language, especially on an item like this, is succinct with the organization that we're representing. So thank you, Mr. Stringfellow, for being here to help us with that. So with that, we'll move to item 6, and we take item 6 in 2 parts, which will be the interviews and appointments. Today, we will be interviewing for the Hospitality Tax Committee, where we have 2 vacancies, as well as the Lexington Richland Alcohol and Drug Council, where we have 1 vacancy. So in order for us to conduct the first portion, we'll need to go into executive session. So I'll entertain a motion to go into executive session to conduct interviews.
Madam Chair,
You're
move to
recognized.
go into executive session.
Second.
Any discussion? Ms. Carrillo?
Yes?
Weaver,
Yes.
Cooper.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Okay. session to conduct interviews. Initially, we went into executive session to conduct interviews for the Hospitality Tax Committee and LRADAC, or the Lexington Richland Alcohol Drug Abuse Council. However, we did, the applicant for the Hospitality Tax Committee was not in attendance, so we did not conduct that interview, but we did do the one for LRADAC. So we'll take up item 6 in the second part, which is appointments. And to my colleagues, just be mindful, because we did not do interviews for the Hospitality Tax Committee. We have to have a motion for that item as well. And I'll entertain any motions that you may have at this time.
Madam Chair,
You're recognized.
I'm sorry, do we need to re-advertise the Hospitality Tax Committee? Okay, so move to re-advertise for 6A, the Hospitality Tax Committee, I guess both vacancies.
Second. Any discussion? Ms. Carrillo?
Teratio,
Yes?
Weaver,
Yes.
Cooper.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Thank you. Let's take up item 6B1, or 6B. And we had one applicant and one vacancy. I'll entertain a motion.
Madam Chair?
You're recognized.
Move to appoint Mr. Joseph Cerniglia,
Second.
I think.
Any discussion?
Apologies, I also have an Italian last name, and it's sometimes we don't know exactly how people say that.
I wouldn't even try. Ms. Carrillo?
Teratio,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Cooper.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Moving on to item 7, for your information, you have a list of our vacancy schedule that you can find on page 9. And with the vacancies and appointments, you'll see there when we are scheduled to advertise versus also when the applications are due. Please note that we are going to be taking up an item tonight, so we'll be advertising or making a recommendation to full council for vacancies and advertisements tonight, with the thoughts that once it's approved, that they'll be advertised on this upcoming Friday to gather applications up until the end of April. That is for your information. Also in your packet for information, you'll find our applications that are on file. As always, thank you to the clerk's office for keeping our files nice and clean and up to date. And I'll entertain a motion for item 8.
Move to adjourn?
Second, Ms. Carrillo.
Yay.
Teratio,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Cooper.
Yes,
Motion approved.
thank you. We're adjourned.